Hi, I'm Adair and welcome to part 2 of my Doctor Who inspired guitar for the Great Guitar Build-Off of 2021. In this video I'll be working on the neck and the body construction as well as... Hey, what's that? Hi Aaron, I thought I'd give you a bit of a surprise. Aaron? Me? Hang on, how can there be two of us here? Well, think about it. We have been building a Doctor Who guitar with a time travel circuit. You mean it actually worked? Well, sort of. You see, it appears to work for only a short period of time, so I won't be here for very long. So how did we do it? All I can say is we did it with a lot of enjoyment and difficulty, but I've all the information you need right here. Make sure. Wait, you follow so many questions about the future. Do we have hoverboards? You have a lot to do. What about flying cards? Who wins the competition? And is 2021 better than last year? Spoilers, you'll have to wait and see. And it's only been a couple of months anyway. Now remember in the future to travel back in time to give us, you, the plans at this exact time and date. If you don't, then you, now at this very moment, won't have all the information you need to build the time circuit. And that could cause catastrophic damage to our time streams and the very fabric of space and time itself. Or perhaps it doesn't matter either way. Who knows? Who knows? Well, that was unexpected. I never would have thought of that. Well, it appears I have thought of it, but just not yet anyway. Is that a flux capacitor? I do have a lot to do. So as I was saying before I interrupted myself, in this video I'll be working on the neck and the body and seeing how much I can get done of that basically. For the body blank, for this recycled timber, I'll need to remove all of the screws first so I don't damage any saw blades. I'll then need to slice it up for the laminations. The body will be about 45mm thick, so I'll probably cut it to 47 or 48mm. Just then I can have a bit of leeway when I'm getting the right thickness. I've said before that it was finished initially with a stain and oil, so I'll have to remove that as well before I laminate the body together. The same thing, the neck blank is essentially prepared, and that's the same process that I sliced it up to the width that I wanted. And then I took the stain and the varnish off. Also, make sure you stick around to the end of the video. At the end I will be revealing my time travel circuit and my plans for the bigger on the inside feature as well. So if you want to see those, make sure you stick around to the end. Okay, time to get to work. beside of one you don't take pride of. So that's all done now. You could probably tell that there were quite a few burn marks in the timber that came from the saw blade. Now I probably do need a new saw blade, which might fix some of those problems. But the wood was actually bowing inwards on a lot of the lengths. Not all of the time, but I could certainly feel it grabbing, and it caused quite some of them quite significant burn marks. To take the oil and the finish off and the stain, in the past I've used an electric plane, and sort of by accident, the way I used it, I did take more off each end and left it thicker in the middle by mistake, or because I didn't know it was going to do that. So when I glued that body up, it meant that it was a little bit wider in the middle, and the ends had to get squashed in a fair bit. So I might use my router sled where I can sort of line up each board, and then just with the router sled go over the top and take a couple of mil off. Then I'll be able to put it together and glue it all up. Now, if I get the template, put it on top, you can see that there is plenty of room around the outside. So I've made it as large as the wood that I had, and the extra around the edge I'll be able to use for test pieces, for stains, for finishing, and just for sort of general use of the wood and testing as I come across things that I want to do on the guitar. So another thing I'm also going to do is to make a practice body out of this cheap pine. There is a lot of routing both on the front and back of the body, which I'll need to do to connect all the electronics for the ideas that I've got and the things that I want to have in the guitar body. So by doing it on a practice piece, it means I can get all the measurements right, I can get the depths right. There will be cavities that will need to be connected from front to back, and I really don't want to make any mistakes on the real body. I'd prefer to make any mistakes and do all the trial and error on a cheap piece of pine first. Now I probably won't film myself making the practice body, because essentially it's just cutting it and gluing it together, and a similar process for what I'm doing with the blackwood. But you'll probably see it when it is finished, when I'm transferring all the measurements and sizes over to the real guitar body.
The statement is seen as a roof, and it falls on the remnants that you hide, but I don't know how, and still I don't know why, and now I don't know where to begin. I said I don't know how, but still I don't know why, and I just don't recall. They begin as they end, but they end, and all the stones in all the world that can never be thrown will sail through.
So now all I have to do is flip it over, do the same again on the other side, and then get the other 12 boards that I've got, do the same again. Now a lot of the boards have got nail holes or splits on the end, so I'm just going to chop those all off. It means that when I'm placing the template on the body blank, I don't have to worry about holes in the end or cutting into the body and then having cracks and splits.
they'll sail swift and they'll sail on till guilt pushes them down, shoots them down. But I don't know how, and still I don't know why, and I just don't know where to begin. Say I don't know how.
Okay, I think that's how it will go. I'll have a centerline on one of the joins, providing that I can still see that join once it's glued up. But if not, there's still a centerline in that place. Okay, time for gluing.
I don't know why, and I just don't recall where this began. Where all that's been left, cracks have begun. Where all that's been left, we discard and we run.
It's always nerve-wracking doing that bit, just getting everything clamped up in time before the glue sets too much. And to complicate things today, I nearly ran out of glue, so I just had enough to get it all done. So hopefully everything's tight, everything's in place, and I'll leave those overnight, and hopefully tomorrow morning it'll be nice and straight. Human condition reminds of a will and arouses the sinner in me. A table tonight, a full house remains. I sold that my baby, I sold that gay man. May I be so kind to tell you I've got to stop all of me. I gotta stop all of me. I gotta stop all of me. I gotta stop all of me. Something arise, impression and play. So that body depth is at 49mm at the moment. I've done 2 passes on each side to get it to that. I'd like the final body to be about 45mm, so I'll keep going to get it a little bit lower, probably end up about 46, 47mm. That'll give me a bit of room for sanding and finishing. So the center line's been marked now on the body blank, so now all I need to do is to put the template on and trace around the outside. Okay, so now it's time to start work on the neck. I've got the neck blank here, and what I'll need to do first is to mark the center line down. That's so I can route out the truss rod channel. I'll need to put it over sort of this side of the neck blank. There are the biscuit joins on the side which I want to avoid all the way along. Now I've also decided to change the headstock design a bit. I was choosing between an angled headstock and a flat headstock like a Fender style guitar. So what I have decided to go with the flat headstock, but since the this Yamaha guitar has quite a long headstock in comparison to a Fender one, I'm actually going to combine the two. So it will be my own design. I'll combine those two headstocks. Even though I've made the template already, I can just modify that as I go. The new headstock shape will basically be the length of a Strat or a Tele, but I'll have the Yamaha sort of curve on the end here to go round, and I'll probably combine the two on the lower portion. So next is routing out the truss rod channel. I've got the fence set up on the side of the router, so that should keep everything parallel. So the truss rod line has been marked up parallel to the edge of the wood. I've put some blocks on the end, so as I move along each end, it'll stop to where I need it to stop for the truss rod channel. So one down that end, one down this end, and I've also got the depth stop set there to the depth that I need for the truss rod. So really, as long as I just drop the route a bit by small increments, I hopefully can't go wrong.
Sober and well in control as the fiber of everything falls in your way. Stand up to hide all erase. Feelings of self-worth divide as you take the
I've also just set up the same process to route the small channel for the truss rod access at the headstock. Small blocks on each end, so I can't go too far. So I'm finally up to cutting out the neck and the body from the neck and body blanks, and to do this I'll be using a jigsaw. Now the jigsaw isn't completely accurate getting close to the line, especially on a thicker bit of wood, so I'll leave a bit of space from the line, and then I'll be using a belt sander to get a bit closer, and finally I'll put the templates on both pieces and use the router table to route to exactly the line. Let's hope it works. Now this part mightn't be pretty, so fingers crossed that I get a good result.
May I be so kind to tell you, oh, I've got it made. I gotta stop all of me. I gotta stop all of me. I gotta stop all of me. May I be so kind to tell you, oh, I've got it made. I gotta stop all of me. I gotta stop all of me. I gotta stop all of me. Highway alone, it gets this from me. A human condition reminds of a will and arouses the sinner in me. A table tonight, a full house remains. I sold that my baby, I sold that gay man. May I be so kind to tell you, oh, I've got it made. I gotta stop all of me. I gotta stop all of me. I gotta stop all of me. Something alright. Impression and blades, sober and well in control as the fiber of everything falls in your way. Stand up to hide all erase. Feelings of self-worth divide as you take birth. May I be so kind to tell you, oh, I've got it made. I gotta stop all of me. I gotta stop all of me. I gotta stop all of me.
So the neck and body have been cut to shape now. I've got a little bit more work to do on the headstock just to get it to the line, but I can do that when I work on the neck next. The body had a little bit of trouble with the router. The router bit that I use is quite an old bit, and it's probably not the best quality. So I've got a fairly decent chip out just at the neck here, which I'll have to probably just reshape to sort that one out. And also, since I laminated the body, I've got both flat sawn and quarter sawn timber, so it was reasonably difficult to cut some of those when the grain kept going in a different direction. There's also quite a few burn marks again just from the router bit, but when I do the final sanding and shaping, that'll take care of most of those. So now it's time, I think, to reveal the bigger on the inside and the time travel circuits and some of the other features that I will be planning to include. So starting with the arm carve, I'm going to have an arm carve which will sort of follow this line here, and probably a chamfer around the front edge. The arm carve area will be the natural wood colour, so just oiled, and then the central part of the body will be a blue stain. Now I've got to order a few stains to try a few different colours. Here's one that I've got. This is a little bit dark, but you'll get the basic idea that the main body will be blue, and then the natural wood colour on the carved parts, and also the back will be natural as well, and the headstock I'll probably do blue on the front. So the bridge, I'm still not sure whether it will be a hardtail bridge or a tremolo. I'd like to have a tremolo, but there is a fair bit of routing that I'm going to have to do, and I don't know if I will have the space to do that as well. The pickups so far, this is a Fender humbucker which can have a coil split, so that will be on the bridge. And for the neck, I'm thinking of a P90 at the moment. This is a pickup that I wound myself for my second scratch build, which I'm just about to finish off. So I've tested it with a multimeter, and it reads okay. I haven't put it in the guitar yet to see how it sounds, but the plan is that I'll wind my own P90 pickup for the neck, and then use the Fender humbucker for the bridge. The bigger on the inside element, the part that I'm really excited about. So my plan is to include an infinity mirror. So I'll probably put it on the end of the guitar here. It won't quite fit. This is a kit that I bought just with some cheap LED lights. So my plan is to route out the body to almost the back, so I get probably 40mm depth. There'll be a mirror on the bottom, a two-way mirror on the top, and then I've got these coloured LED lights which will spiral around the middle of the cavity that I'm routing out, and I will be able to change colours with a remote control and have some crazy effects. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that work. Fingers crossed that I will have enough room, really having it as deep as I can, and the spiral of colours will look like the guitar is going almost to infinity, and is a lot deeper and a lot more room on the inside than there actually is. And one of the best things about the shape of this infinity mirror kit is that the shape of the mirror is exactly the same as the TARDIS console. Since it won't quite fit, I'll just need to round off the outside here to follow the shape of the guitar, leaving enough room for the strap button at the end and for the screw to go through. Now for the time travel device. Now this is the second exciting feature that I'll be including, and what I'll be doing is putting a built-in delay pedal in the guitar. So initially I was just going to take the circuit out of a digital delay, but I found this pedal which is almost made for what I'm doing. It has a time function, it's got a regeneration function, which is perfect, and being blue, it is really just made for this guitar. So what I'll be doing here, I don't know the exact locations yet. I'll route out once again the body, drop the delay pedal down so it's sort of flush with the top of the guitar, and hardwire it in to the electronics. So I will essentially have a built-in delay pedal. The time travel element, to me a delay pedal is playing a note, and then as it repeats, it's repeating something that occurred in the past. So the past is repeating on my delay pedal, which is my time travel device for this guitar. The last Doctor Who feature that I'm planning for the body is to put a crack in time. So probably around here I may still readjust things as I run out of room or need more room, but this will basically be routed out from the back, and the LED lights that are from the bigger on the inside circuit will go through the body, and this will almost be a sound hole where when the this device is on, I'll get the lights from the crack in time shining through the guitar. I did think about putting it up the top as a sound hole, but I kind of want all the features down the bottom half, and then I'll have some nice smooth lines for the arm carving in the top half of the guitar. And lastly, the switches and the controls. So I'll probably leave the switch on this lower horn like on the original Yamaha. This is just one for demonstration. I'll probably use a Gibson style switch there, and one volume and tone. And probably this kind of area here is like the TARDIS console, and I kind of like the idea that it's got crazy switches and knobs. So I'll probably mix them. Well, that's volume. Let's put a tone one there. I'll probably mix them up so they don't match. I may see what else is out there, you know, a combination of two knobs to add a bit of interest to the guitar. Now, looking at everything on here, I think I will probably have to go with a fixed bridge rather than a tremolo. I just don't think I'm going to have enough wood to route out so everything works if I have to route out a tremolo cavity at the back. The bridge will probably be silver as well. This black one is one that I've got for my second guitar that I'm nearly finishing off, which has all black hardware. So probably silver, and the same thing with the knobs. That may be silver or black. Just depends on the overall design when I decide. So there it is, the body of the guitar. Hopefully it will all fit on. So that's it for part 2 of my build. Now in the shed this time, there's been a lot of noise with the table saw and the router, and I just feel that, you know, I've been forgetting things, and I've got this feeling that there's something really important that I've forgotten to do. I really hope it's not important for the future of my guitar build. It really would have been good to have some silence in the shed this time. If you like what you've seen, make sure you click like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all next time for part 3.